Welcome everybody to my first Borderlands 4 farming guide, and today I'm going to be discussing Splashzone and his various drops. Now, Splashzone is a boss you get access to very early in the game within your first hour after completing the second main mission recruitment drive, and after you complete recruitment drive, you'll get access to a special terminal next to the boss arena called Moxie's Encore, where you're able to pay a small amount of money based on your level to farm Splashzone over and over again. These encores are very convenient because for certain story bosses, the trek used to be very long, and now you have a very small walk. Farms are sub 30 seconds. There's no need to exit your game to farm the boss over and over again. To get things started, there are two main ways to get to Splashzone in the first place. If you are unaware, from the recruitment drive tower, the first safe house that you unlock, you are able to get on your Sparrow and drive, a short distance. Doesn't take more than 45 seconds to get from the safe house to the Splashzone pad arena, even though there is a marginally faster way if you have access to one of the silos, which I will show you now. From the nearest silo on the Bone Coast, what you're going to do is jump out of the window and onto the nearest Apex Legends style air balloon, and using the speed and height from this air balloon, you're going to be able to traverse to the Splashzone arena in sub 30 seconds. As long as you ground pound right in front of the arena, right in front of the Encore, you should be able to start farming almost immediately. And once you're in the actual arena, the farm is fairly simple. Splashzone is weak at all levels, and he is susceptible to staggering himself whenever a grenade or other similar explosive is thrown in his vicinity. He is not immune to knockdowns, so use that as a strategy since you are able to scale his level and farm him all the way up to level 50 in the base and including in Ultimate Vault Hunter mode. In practice, this farm should really not be taking more than 30 seconds. Playing Amon, I was farming him for long enough to be able to collect my loot and have another charge of my action skill to be able to make killing him the next time even easier. But if you do have high burst damage, or you have the ability to knock down Splashzone or get him himself to dive by using a grenade, this farm is going to be very easy, fairly uncomplicated as long as you can actually get here. Alright, so we have all the items equipped. Taking a look at it, the Gripping Lead Balloon is our first one. Its legendary perk is lightweight projectiles float upward and spawn child projectiles upon exploding. Now, this is probably the worst of the three items that you are able to get from Splashzone, specifically because this is a little bit unwieldy. However, if you are able to actually get up and close, basically barrel stuffing, you negate all of the downside and get, potentially infinite upside. The explosions are very strong. It is very good as an early game melter of any enemies. Very consistent second wins with this if you are able to actually barrel stuff them. Basically, if you are barrel stuffing, you're going to be having a good time. If not, the actual floating up and then exploding down onto the enemy, not only is the damage that you're going to be getting from the secondary effect of the projectile a little bit underwhelming compared to the primary impact damage, but the alternate fire mode with this shotgun, consistent with other Torg weapons, is you get sticky nades. At least that's all I've seen so far, and the sticky nades don't inherit the same property, so it is a little bit pointless to be using it with sticky nades unless you need to shoot something that is further away, in which case it still is going to be doing decent damage for what you're getting. But besides that, if you can hit somebody point blank with all the projectiles, this thing is going to be doing a lot of damage in the early game. It's a very good early game weapon. Moving on to the next item, it is the Booming Jelly, and its perk says self-replicating. And then this one I got rolled with the Ripper, which is essentially just instant teleport and, passive grenade damage increases. Now, basically what this is going to be doing is it is a sort of kind of like a bonus package that you were able to originally get at the start of BL2. It self-replicates. You hit somebody with it, and it self-replicates. Essentially, you kill somebody with this, and it self-replicates. That's pretty much it. Now, chaining this Booming Jelly is a little bit harder. You do get some additional damage with this. It has 4 charges on an 8-second cooldown. You're going to be spamming these fairly frequently, especially with any skills that are going to reduce your ordnance cooldown on any of your characters. Once again, a little bit underwhelming, but a very good early game grenade. As any legendaries that you are able to get early game, as you are able to farm Splashzone Splashzone pretty much after the first mission outside of the tutorial is done. You cannot go wrong with farming for this. Now, by far the best item, and what I suspect is going to be one of the best items in the game, without even looking at all of the other legendary options, it is the Barrage Micro Nova Fireworks, and it says bundled. On kill, spawns missiles that home in on nearby targets and deal 397 damage each. Yes, that is as good as it sounds and potentially better. Mini Nova on armor segment break, trigger a Nova that deals 99 damage. Now this perk rolls, this is a random roll. I've had shields that essentially give you a void shield where it trades an armor segment for 15% increased damage. And the final swarm, missile swarm on armor segment break, launches 3 missiles, each dealing 79 damage. Once again, this is not really what you're going to be going for. Now every single time you kill an enemy that is with anything, on kill, spawns missiles that home in on nearby enemies and deal 397 damage each. Now, looking at the footage, as you can see right now, the missiles chain from each other. Now, you're going to be spawning anywhere I've seen between 3 to 5 missiles from each enemy that you kill. And now, of those missiles, how many are actually going to track in on the target? It just depends on their density and if you are indoors or not. But this is a potentially, in theory, never-ending kill chain as long as there are enemies with enough HP to take advantage of the fact that, you know, this thing is pretty much going to be dealing an additional 2,000 damage per kill to the next enemy in the room. This shield is fantastic. There's no cooldown on the triggered missiles. It triggers with any damage type from any weapon, and I feel that this genuinely has been the biggest carry for me in the early game. You know, despite only being level 16 right now as the time of making this video, this thing has saved my life. The missiles carry over through second winds. They kill you, they're able to pick you up via second winds. They just do a lot. If you are going to play this game, farm Splashzone early game until you get a Micro Nova Fireworks, and the rest of the game, of what I'm assuming, is going to be pretty easy for you for a very, very long time until you get weapons that start to deal a similar amount of explosive damage for free. So besides that, let me know what you think, because I am trying something new. You know, sorry for my regular Destiny viewers, but I'm playing Borderlands now. And the rest of this video is just going to be some build footage in action, showcasing every single item that you are able to farm from Splashzone. Do take note of the tracking issues that I am having with the belly jelly, the issues actually hitting enemies with the shotgun unless I am point blanking them, and what the micro missiles are doing in the sense that they're just homing in and chaining on each other. You can see it as I'm speaking right now. They chain off of each other's kills. So as long as there are enemies around to die to these rockets, you're just gonna be having a great time, because, you know, like I said, they all chain upon each other. So besides that, I hope each and every single one of you has a great day, and take care now.